superstar Rajinikanth will launch his long-anticipated political party in January, premiering a political blockbuster when Tamil Nadu votes 5 months later. In a tweet, he said that he would announce the launch date on the 31st of December and promised a wonder and miracle in the polls. He tweeted with hashtags, "It's now or never," and we will change everything. Rajinikanth said that his party would bring spiritual, secular politics with no caste or religion.
மக்கள் மத்தியில் ஒரு எழுச்சி வரணும், அந்த எழுச்சியை உண்டாக்கணும், அந்த எழுச்சியை உண்டாக்கின பிறகுதான் நான் கட்சி ஆரம்பிக்கணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு தமிழ்நாடு முழுவதும் நான் சுற்றுப்பயணம் செய்யலாம்னு இருந்தேன். ஆனா இந்த கொரோனாவில் அது என்னால் செய்ய முடியல. டாக்டர்ஸ் நீங்க ஜனங்க மத்தியில் போய் நீங்க பிரச்சாரம் பண்ணி அவங்களை சந்திச்சு பண்றது மெடிக்கலி டெஃபினெட்லி அது ஆபத்து அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. நான் எப்பவுமே இது அந்த சிங்கப்பூர்ல உடம்பு சரியில்லாம வரும்போது தமிழ் மக்கள் அவங்களுடைய பிரார்த்தனை, அவங்களுடைய வேண்டுதல், அதுலதான் ஒரு உயிர் பிழைத்து வந்தேன் நான். இப்போ அவங்களுக்காக என் உயிரே போனா கூட என்னை விட சந்தோஷப்படுவேன் வேறு யாருமே கிடையாது. கொடுத்த வாக்கு நான் என்னைக்குமே தவற மாட்டேன். ஒரு அரசியல் மாற்றம் ரொம்ப கட்டாயம், ரொம்ப கட்டாயம். அந்த காலத்தின் தேவை ரொம்ப முக்கியம். ஒரு அரசியல் மாற்றம் நிறைய ஆகணும். இப்ப இல்லைன்னா அது எப்பவுமே கிடையாது. மாற்றணும், எல்லாத்தையும் மாற்றணும். கடினமா நம்ம வேலை செஞ்சு என்னால் என்ன முடியுமோ அது இது பண்ணி முயற்சி பண்ணி நான் இந்த நடக்கிற இந்த பாதையில வெற்றி அடைவேன் அப்படிங்கிற நம்பிக்கை எனக்கு இருக்கு. எப்பவுமே ஒவ்வொருத்தருக்கும் தலையெழுத்தம் இருக்கும். அதே மாதிரி ஒவ்வொரு நாட்டுக்கும் தலையெழுத்து இருக்கு. தமிழ்நாட்டு தலையத்தை மாற்ற வேண்டிய நாள் வந்தாச்சு. அது நிச்சயமா அது நடக்கும். அரசியல் மாற்றம், ஆட்சி மாற்றம் இப்ப இல்லைன்னா எப்பவும் இல்லை. மாத்துவோம், எல்லாத்தையும் மாத்துவோம்.
All right, let's go across to Uma Sudhir now for more on this. Uma, now or never, we will change everything. Cinematic lines also goes with his image, isn't it?
Absolutely. Rajinikanth is someone who's been a very, very reluctant politician right from the time that he made his first big political statement in 1996, when he said that if Tamil Nadu votes for Jayalalitha, even God can't save Tamil Nadu, and that's supposed to have catapulted the DMK alliance to power at that time. After that, 25 years later, now he's announcing his political debut, and if I may even draw a parallel to one of his movies, Kabali, in which he in fact says that after 25 years, he's making a return as a veteran Don, and he says, tell the bosses that I'm back, back just the way I went. And that's precisely what Rajinikanth would hope that he would be able to do. But 1996 in many senses is not 2021. It's a time when Rajinikanth, of course, is 70 years old, and he may not be able to keep up with the kind of hectic campaigning that the heat and dust of Tamil Nadu will require, because it's hardly 5 months left for elections to happen, and he has to have a party, an organization, a cadre. His popularity cannot automatically turn into votes, and that's something that he desperately does require. So even as late as in October 29, he had said that he is not willing to come into politics because of his health conditions. He had hinted that he does not want to come into politics, but there seems to have been quite a bit of pressure on him. That's one reason. He has made his political debut. Who he is going to impact, that's going to be a big question. First, whether he will contest himself. Second, whether he will ally with any of the other forces. Three, whether he is going to actually support some other candidate. If he himself is not going to contest in these elections, will he endorse some other candidate and expect that his cadre will support that? All these are now open-ended questions. December 31, once again, we have to wait for when he announces his political party launch, and then we'll probably have more clarity on what his political plans really are going to be like.
All right, Uma Sudhir, thanks very much for that analysis. Interesting times there in Tamil Nadu politics ahead of the elections. Let's go across to our guest this evening. Joining us is Sumant Raman, senior journalist and political analyst. Also will be joined by D. Suresh Kumar, deputy resident editor of The Hindu. Mr. Sumant Raman, around 5 months to go for the state polls. What would you say about the timing? Will Rajinikanth be able to create that momentum on the ground for his party to be a real contender?
I think we will know the answers to that by middle or end of January.
Right.
He's going to make the announcement on 31st December, and that is going to give the name of the party, and it's also likely to give what the bare bones structure is going to be.
Yes.
So I think that the momentum, as you said, is a very, very important factor in this.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that Mr. Rajinikanth did not want to make this announcement earlier
Yes.
was apparently a fear that the momentum could be lost, if he did it too early. Even before COVID,
Yes.
from whatever I hear from sources, was that the plan was only to launch around September, October, even without COVID.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as if that he wanted to launch the party in January or February and then do an give the opposition parties a full year and a half to target him.
Yes.
So now the opposition is on the political parties, the major political parties are all confused, on the back foot.
Yeah.
They are trying to figure out what kind of impact this would have. Who is he going to align with? Who is he going to oppose? Because nothing is known at this point of time,
Yes.
except that he is going to take a reasonable chunk of votes away.
Right.
Definitely, he would take votes from the AIADMK BJP combined, because he
Yes.
speaks of spiritual politics, and that is in line with what the AIADMK and BJP philosophy.
Yes.
But beyond that,
Yes.
so the question is, if he contests alone on his own,
Yes.
he definitely damages the AIADMK BJP alliance, and
Right.
widely he is seen as having the backing of the BJP.
Yes.
So BJP would want that. So
Right.
would not want that.
Yes.
So what
So
is
in
the
fact, the
strategy is what we need to
BJP
make.
has welcomed this announcement by Rajinikanth, and
Yeah.
so has the AIADMK. But Rajinikanth has backed BJP at least on issues in the past. Mr. Suresh Kumar, let me get you in. Do you think that the BJP is aiming to piggyback on Rajinikanth to make inroads into Tamil Nadu politics?
Yes, definitely, because that's been on their mind for long. The BJP as such on its own has been a 2% political party in Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
So they would, they were very happy with Rajinikanth's announcement. Only thing is they would have been happier had this announcement come earlier.
Yes.
Before the ADMK announced its alliance with the BJP in the presence of Home Minister Amit Shah in Chennai.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
That would have given them some leeway to, negotiate and then possibly, align with the Rajinikanth's proposed political party.
Yes.
But now that opportunity is lost, so we need to see how Rajinikanth travels in this new political journey.
Yes.
Which other parties he is going to take along with him, or whether he is going to test the entire political ground on his own strength, individual
Yes.
charisma. So that requires to be seen.
Yes.
And we will know much when he announces the party's ideology and the party structure.
Yes. And the news just coming in, Rajinikanth has announced a core team. He has formally announced Dr. R. Arjun Murthy as the chief coordinator. Now, Arjun Murthy was with BJP till recently. Let me put that same question to Mr. Sumant Raman. What do you think about a possible BJP Rajinikanth tie-up of sorts ahead of the elections?
Look, that has been the speculation ever since he made this announcement on December 31st, 2017, that
Yeah.
somehow he was being pushed into this by the BJP, and the BJP wanted to leverage his clout in
Yes.
some manner. But, sometimes you wonder if they're making it too obvious already, because Mr. Arjuna Murthy was actually the intellectual wing secretary of the Tamil Nadu BJP,
Right.
Right until, if I remember right until yesterday. So today, apparently, he has resigned. The BJP state unit issues a letter saying that he is being relieved from post following his voluntary resignation.
Right.
I mean, all of it doesn't add up. I mean, it just looks like it's all been thought through.
Yes.
The BJP has worked out a plan.
Yes.
And they are going according to that particular plan. So I think
Yes.
that whatever we are speculating now,
Yes.
the BJP is clearly the orchestrator of a lot of political activity that we have already seen in the recent past,
Yes.
and we are going to see over the coming few months.
Yes.
OIC's party announces that they will contest 25 to 30 seats in Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
He doesn't have a base at all, but he says 25 to 30 seats.
Yes.
That is again making people wonder, because The minority vote in Tamil Nadu goes solidly to the DMK and Congress combined.
Yes.
So the attempt is now there to split it.
Right.
So there's lots of interesting stuff going on.
Yes, interesting stuff. The other interesting bit, the question really is, let me get Mr. Suresh Kumar. Mr. Kumar, do you think that Mr. Rajinikanth will personally enter the political battleground?
No, at the moment, from what I heard, he has still, told the supporters that he is firm in what he stated in March, that he does not want to be the chief minister candidate.
Yes.
He is still harping on the aspect of having somebody else as the face of the party for the election.
Yes.
And then, move the campaign alone.
Yes.
So, but I don't think such a, possibility will be acceptable to the people as a whole, because, the people, there's only one party that has done that here, PMK.
Yes.
Where Ramdas is just the founder of the party, but even he brought in the son at some point.
Yes.
Anbumli Ramdas.
Yes.
So, I think possibly as the campaign moves and depending on the reception that it draws, then Rajinikanth might be forced to rethink on the strategy of banking on somebody else as the CM candidate.
Yes. He's also said that he's not going to retire from films. So, films and politics both side by side, isn't that a challenge for him at his age?
It is, especially right now. He is midway through his film Annate, that is incidentally produced by the Sun Pictures. Mr. Kalanidhi Maran Sun Pictures is producing it.
Yes.
And today he did say that he wants to complete the remaining shooting of the film.
Yes.
Right. So I think this is one thing. These actors don't want to, quit. They hang their boots when it comes to cinema. They still want to be on the big screen, while
Right.
keeping one leg in politics.
Yes.
But I think, he has to clearly choose between politics and cinema and devote his entire attention to one aspect
Yes.
to be somewhat successful.
All right, Mr. Suresh Kumar and Mr. Sumant Raman, thanks very much for joining us on this discussion. Interesting times in Tamil Nadu politics and a big announcement there by Rajinikanth today.